And there. And I think our sound and everything tonight is just going to be perfect. We got just a great green bar, and there she is. Okay, it's her. She's bothering us. Is this really important? Oh God, that
Yeah.
you little mighty. Go ahead, tell him.
I just took my grandson back. We sort of met halfway. I drove a couple hours. They drove a couple hours. Drove my grandson back and dropped him off. So that is my daughter trying to call, and I'm sure that my grandson wants to report in what he had for supper because he's been a really, really picky eater. I mean, real picky. And he's been eating all kinds of stuff down here, all kinds of meat. And I'm sure he ate something good for his dinner and they want to report in. So that's cool.
You just got to beat them when they won't eat stuff like that. I mean, that just drives me nuts. Scrapple is a fine breakfast meat. What?
Can you guys hear us okay?
Yeah, audio's good here. It's just M1 Hound. You need to get that tube in your ear. You know that old stuff from I think now. See, when somebody does that, you can't do anything except sit here and wait for somebody else to go on. Yep, we're fine. Okay, all right. It's Hound. And I still can't figure out why he's not oiling a gun stock because it's raining. Probably has to be something to do with the humidity, but I think you're being a little particular. Just put some shit on that gun stock and let it dry, man. And you'll be fine. That's what I would do.
There's Bassett, my nephew Garrett Bassett up here. He sent me the sweetest gift for my Mother's Day present. He knows I drink coffee 24/7. I would fight a bear for you, Auntie. Not a grizzly or a brown bear or a panda, but maybe a Care Bear. I'd fight one of those son of a bitches for you. I love it, Bass. Thank you, honey. That was my best present.
And he got me in trouble for that Brenda's Beaver book, me reading it to pissed a couple people off.
Yeah, he's the one that sent the book for us. And he's getting ready to have a little boy of his own that actually could be born any time. And so he wants me to be able to have that cool book to read to his son, Dawson, when they come up here. So that's cool.
Oh, they'll be here. I'm probably going to get the rest of them. Curiosity is killing me what the rest of them could possibly.
How many is there in that series?
It only listed, I don't know, it only listed 5 or something like that. But that is some creative. I appreciate that. The guy that thought that stuff up. I guess it's an Indian book. Looked like a couple of male Indians, dot Indians had come up with those things.
Well, I guess that a couple of people were very offended by that. That you were reading that to your grandson.
Well, it's meant to be read like that.
But if you
have to see it to get it. It's no different than Cat in the Hat, Dr. Seuss, Green Eggs and Ham. It's got that theme to it, but it is, about a big furry beaver. And it just shows pictures of this big furry beaver and then all the other women with their pet beavers. And whatever, man. Whatever. I appreciate it because I'm a funny bastard. But
we've just been getting some cool stuff. And, when you guys send stuff off of Amazon or whatever you do, we appreciate it so much. But there's a little thing down there that says, "Is this a gift?" And if you will click, "It is a gift," then there's a place for you to put in a message. So a lot of the gifts we get, we don't have any clue who it's from. But I got this big, wonderful basket that had clothes and spoons and bottles and all this stuff and a Noah's Ark. That is so cool. You can take the little things in and out and play with them. So thank you so much. Somebody sent it for my little granddaughter because it's her birthday. But Remington was here, so guess who flew into that thing and has been playing with it. But I sent all the clothes and stuff with my daughter today, so that was so sweet. Whoever did that, thank you. It's hot in here because you got all these doors open. Phew.
It's not going to be here for the next week. It's supposed to rain all week, and yeah, that thing is. I can't tell you how often you're just sitting here staring at something. You'll catch something out of the corner of your eye, and it's Xena with that thing in her mouth. One of those animals headed out the door, and she knows you're going to try to take it. And she means to have it.
With Remington screaming.
Yeah, and then they all get up in bed with him in the morning and start ripping his toys out of the bed. He sleeps with a couple of those little bears and stuff that he has, and you know he'd snap. That's no way to wake up and see a warrior with one of your bears in his mouth, hauling ass with it. So
I know I've got a lot of grandparents on here, and I'm not used to being the sole caretaker of a 3-year-old. We have had a ball, but I am exhausted. Are you? He is a very early riser. About 5:30 is his normal wake-up time. And at 5:30, he's ready for his breakfast. He's ready for his cartoons to be put on. He's ready. And I'm sort of a night owl. Dawn goes to bed way before me, you know, and I sit up and watch TV or get on the computer.
it's maturity.
Not this week. I have a glass of wine and my ass is in that bed. I'm tired. But it's been a good time this week.
He goes straight for his nap. He doesn't complain. He goes straight to bed. He doesn't complain. You tell him, he goes, or he'll ask for it himself. So, yeah, outside of eating stuff,
He's a good boy.
yeah, he's good. But it was just killing me. Just these little crystal hamburgers and stuff. You know, he just take a little. You'd have to force him into it, and then he knew he was pissing me off. And he always, whenever I'd say something, he'd look at her real quick to see what, you know.
Y'all was gonna say.
Yeah, what are you gonna say about him wanting me to eat that sausage? You know, just take a little bite, you know, just hold it. She was talking to him. She was like, "Oh, what a good boy! Oh, he's so good." She was making a big deal out of whatever he had, and I just let her go. I was just sitting there waiting. It's just this big deal. Oh, your mom was going to be so proud of you. And I said, Diane, he hasn't swallowed it. It's still in his mouth. He's just holding his mouth. Anyhow.
Yes, he got over the screaming. He's done really, really good. And for those of you that don't know, I really like my vintage t-shirts. I have sort of a collection. I got Johnny Cash, Janis Joplin, I got the Doors, I got all that stuff. And so this came in the mail for me. It's my Zigzag Man. Can you see it? I love it. Anything that had to do with that era when I was growing up. So when I went to the mailbox and got this zigzag out of here, it tickled me to death.
The forage sorghum. I don't know what Jeff is doing with that forage sorghum, if he can do anything. There's not cattle up here. Forage sorghum, as best we can tell, is just used for silage. You let it get mature. We used to put silage up. We would cut the corn before it would dry and grind it all up into silage and feed the cattle on it all winter long, the steers. And that is what forage sorghum is, I guess. And there's no real market for it around here for cattle. So I don't know what Jeff was planning on doing, but it didn't seem like ducks were going to be attracted to it. They might, deer, I don't know. We can't find much of anything on it except it is cut for silage to feed cattle. It's green, grind it all up, and they eat that stuff. Done.
Yes, Trucker Dean, I am ready for a case of wine, and they will leave it at the gate because the UPS guy knows and loves us, and he just calls and says, Diane, you got some booze down here. I'm like, sign for it, that's cool. And he'll leave it. So, yes, sir, send that wine. I'm going to tell you something that I don't know a lot of y'all know about me, but I was raised in Tennessee, and everybody in my family and our friends were tobacco farmers. Everybody raised tobacco, and everybody smoked. And I have smoked cigarettes on and off of my life, but I have stopped smoking, and I'm so proud of myself. Just cold turkey just stopped, so that's good.
Gonna show that book.
Yeah, that's your book.
It's from Infantryman. How about that? How about that? I appreciate that. I'll get around to reading it. There, infantry. Thanks, dude. He fired that thing up. So what else you got?
Nothing.
You were in the pool. You were laying down. You were in the ground. I don't know how that boy stayed in that pool.
I tell you.
Brutal.
Well,
And he never stopped.
we got that heat blanket thing to put on it, the bubble wrap thing. And so Don went out there and he was just sticking his fingers in it on the steps, and he's like, "Oh my God, that is so warm. You guys are going to be able to get in that tomorrow." So we made a big deal over it. We're going to be in the pool. I went to Walmart and I bought all kinds of kickboards and life jackets and all kinds of stuff. That pool was like jumping in the ice maker of your refrigerator. It was cold as shit, wasn't it? And that little turd jumped in there, and he swam and swam and swam. And so y'all sat on the side of the pool the first day for the most part, watching him and talking to him. But the second day he intimidated me, and I got in there. I don't know how, but that pool is not warm. I don't know if that solar blanket's working or not, but it's supposed to be crap every single day this coming week. So I was going to keep him until Wednesday or Thursday, but with the storm coming in, we're just going to be stuck in the house, and I'd rather him be stuck in the house with my daughter with me on a rainy day.
Yeah. He got up on that diving board. I just walked out there and he was up on a diving board, and Diane had her camera getting ready to film him. And I thought, well, this is a bad idea. And I said, well, it'll be entertaining.
Well, we didn't ask him. He said, "I want to jump off of that board."
He had just been kind of wading around a little bit. He hadn't gone with his head getting wet. And I gave him the 1, 2, 3. The scream that came out of his mouth when his head broke the surface of that water. Holy dog shit.
Well,
oh my God. Just wow.
He's really not used to a pool. They don't have a pool. None of their friends have a pool. So it's mainly been in the ocean at Virginia Beach. But because he walks down the steps and his head just floats in that life jacket, I guess he thought when he jumped off that diving board that his head wasn't going to go under. So I filmed it to show my daughter, but right before the blood-curdling scream came, I hit the off button, so she didn't see that part.
Yeah, that's Warrior down here. She's making me nervous. She just, I don't know if you see her out there. She just went around the side of the house. I got in the water with her and had her swimming a little bit. She's full on swimming now. Running out into the water after war. She's really dynamic, high energy. She loves it, but we're still afraid of that pool until I can really show her how she gets in and out. I had to drag her in there a couple of times, pull her out in the middle and let her go, swim back. So she doesn't quite have it yet, so she makes me nervous.
Well, what a sweetheart that dog is. Oh, she's just a cuddle bug. I love her to death, but she has destroyed. This morning I woke up, well, I guess after that, because Dawn was on the tractor. She had got a hold of the toilet paper and pulled it all the way into my bedroom, so just shreds of that everywhere. She came in here and got a cushion and had the fuzz everywhere. And then I heard Remington screaming. She had his stuffed animal. So she causes a ruckus.
Oh, yeah. We're all, she doesn't have any problem with any gunfire. We shot out here with her weeks ago and shot those pigeons that I cooked and put on here. And she loves that dummy launcher, and that son of a bitch is loud. I don't usually mess around much with Ear Pro when I'm just doing a couple of minutes of something. That thing will crack your ears like nobody's business. It's so loud. It's got a big canvas dummy on it. You pull that thing back and it fires a 22 blank. No different than a nail gun. You're putting nails or bolts or sinking that into concrete. And that son of a bitch is loud, and she loves that thing. She tears off and gets it. And, The 50 cal? No, I didn't. I did not reload anything. My dad used to reload a bit. I used to reload shotguns, but I would not reload 50 caliber ammunition. It was just easier and cheaper just to buy it, and that was some expensive shit. Some of those rounds, depending on what we could get, some of those rounds were $5 a piece. Yeah. So, okay, I can't take it. You carry on there.
No, I don't have any disco era shirts. I don't know why I don't. Disco was huge when we were coming up, so I don't know why I don't. But Bob Dylan and just I don't know, Marshall Tucker Band and Charlie Daniels and all that. You know, that was my Leonard Skinner. You know, it's my go-to. I love Leonard Skinner. I just love all that era of music, and I got my jukebox in here now, and so I have been slowly but surely trying to order them. They can get sort of expensive when you're looking at that, getting them. And some of my favorite ones, it's very, very almost impossible to get them on a 45, but I'm slowly but surely getting my jukebox set up in my girl room to where it's just my generation of music, and I love it. Yeah, thank you about the not smoking. I just, my God. It's time. We've done it a million times. But this one and the grandchildren being around more, that did it, I think. So, but if you can tell me a link to a good place to get my vintage shirts, I'd certainly like to know. They do disco in Tennessee. Oh, shit, yeah. We did.
Look out there, girl. She's wet again.
Where's she been, in the pool?
Oh, God, girl.
Soaking.
Oh, God.
So I go in. I have a long stool.
She's soaking wet. Get down.
I have a long stool at the bottom of my bed, and so last.
Damn it.
Oh.
Boy, oh boy, she tear me up.
Well, at least it's just a shirt. You can throw that in the washing machine.
She was in that puddle out here today, right in the middle of it. There's everything's dry here except just one small end of this thing, and it is the foulest smelling water, all the ducks and everything. And she was laying in it, and I think she did it because now this shirt is completely trashed. Okay.
So I get it. I was so tired last night. I'd been in that pool with that little booger all day long, and I go in to get in my bed, and there is a big round wet spot about that big on the bottom sheet, on the top sheet. And you know what he said? A real man would have said, I'll switch sides with you, but he said, go get a towel. So I did. I went and got a big beach towel, and I just climbed right in there and went to sleep. I was too tired to be changing
I
sheets.
said, it ain't the first time you slept in a wet spot. Just stop. Get in it. You know, you deal with it better than I would. So, I mean, that was easy.
You're so funny.
I mean, why would you? I mean, that's all they're
Shut
thinking.
up.
When
Just
you say
shut
that,
up.
when you say
The
something
dog
like that's
was
what they're
wet.
thinking.
I
Now, everybody
explained it.
knows what it is.
The freaking dog was wet.
Well, you're talking about sleeping in a wet spot. You don't even know you're funny. You're
Just
you're
hush.
just funny.
Just
So I mean,
hush.
that's where that shit comes from. So I'm just merely explaining to people. No, you have more experience at that than I do.
Clarence Clearwater, oh God, I love Clarence Clearwater. About my favorite. I love that.
Dang stinky water. Yep, she's terrible. It's terrible.
Tell us more. Oh my God. I tell you, you can't say shit with this bunch on here.
No.
Their minds will go in the gutter just about as quick as yours
I
will.
think she's back in bed. Where is she?
If she's in bed, oh God.
Oh God, here comes another wet spot.
He's got to go get her.
Right behind me.
Thank you, Lily. I love my Yaya name too. I think it fits me. When I think of Yaya, I just think of some old hippie chick with lots of jewelry and bells and whistles and crazier than hell, and that sort of fits me. So I don't mind the name Yaya. I think it fits me better than Granny. That's for sure.
Huh?
You're out of it tonight. You really
I
are.
have, you should see
You
the
should
shit
see
that
the
I've been
duck blind.
doing
Oh
around here
God.
all week.
he's got it stained now, and it just looks so good. I can't believe he did that. So it's perfect.
That's up and that's rocking. So behind the name, I think it's just the Elliot thing. Right?
What?
I don't know. I'm the one that's screwed because he calls me Pap and then he calls the other one Pap or something.
Poppy. Yeah, the other one's Poppy.
Well, how did
Pappy. That's what it is. Pappy. And he gets confused. I read something about those Marines. When was that?
Good for them.
Yeah.
Clowns. Terrible, man. The three of them. Medal of Honor guy. We had the one guy just die from the coronavirus thing. Terrible. And they were all wondering if you can't get it the second time. They're all transfusing everybody's blood and shit. And what happens to the Roosevelt? All those guys come back down with it a second time. That's where I go on about this thing, folks. Just stand by just a little bit. We do not know enough about this, but that's all it was. You probably can't get it a second time, and they're taking all the blood from people that have had it and giving it to everybody else, trying everything to do it. And then guess what? All those sailors back in Roosevelt
Got it a second
tested
time.
positive for it a second time. Don't screw around with this thing. Let's just wait and see what happens. It ain't good.
I'll tell you, I really don't mind wearing the mask. That don't really bother me at all. The only thing that bothers me is I'm blind as a damn bat, and when I put that mask on and I can't see, and I put my glasses on, my glasses fog up. That is my only complaint about it, is if they could figure out something where your glasses didn't fog up, I'd be good with it. Oh, everybody's talking about it now. Bampa? Oh, that's a pretty good name, Canine Lover. Bampa. That's good. Everybody's talking about grandkids' names.
There you go.
Yeah, Mass and Don. Well, Don's been saying the same thing as you, just to hang on, a little bit and see what happens. We really have not. We've not had a tough time staying in here. We like each other for the most part, and we don't work outside the home, so.
That's for the most part.
Well, sometimes I could kill you, like right now, today. I could just smack your head off.
I'm stooging out a bit.
You are
It's been
stooging
hot.
out.
I've been in that blind out in the middle of the field all week, and today I was just on that tractor all day long disking up these fields because they're going to try to put that gypsum down on Tuesday, but it's all supposed to rain. Bottom line, I'm a wreck for a lot of reasons, but we're already 2 weeks behind of getting some sunflowers planted, and now we're getting another week of rain all week.
Yeah.
And it's not going to happen. And then it's going to take at least a week to get it dried out enough to get in there. So now we're a month behind. And those things are perfectly timed in May, to be planted in May, to be ready in September for the dove season. And when you get a month behind, buddy, it's not good. We had that happen before. Last year was a drought. The year before that, you couldn't do anything because there was so much rain. We had to replant sunflowers. It's just a mess out there. And it's going to turn cold again.
Yeah. The
Cold
lamps,
and
you're absolutely right. Lamps, people can't stay out of work. They just can't do it any longer. Whether they are labeled essential or not, people cannot just lose their homes and lose everything. I don't know what the answer is. It's awful. But I don't think it had really affected Don and I as much as it has affected a lot of people, because we don't have to leave the house. We don't work outside of the home. And then my grandson came. And I think that is purely selfish. That is for purely selfish reasons. But, we've got all this water around here. We've got beautiful hiking places and parks and some really good kid-friendly restaurants, that dogs can go. And I love being able to take my dogs inside a restaurant and just nothing is opened up. Nothing's opened up. And I think that just made me appreciate what the parents are going through on a daily basis. The kids ain't in school. They can't. My daughter goes to church on Sunday, and he has this little play group at the church. They can't go to church. And I think that I got just a little taste of what it's like to truly be stuck in the house with children. And it's been tough on them. God! You're about as dumb as a box of rocks tonight, just sitting here. I don't even know why we're on here. Does anybody have anything you want to talk about? Because dumbass over here is dense.
I miss church.
Oh, yeah, you do. You miss that church. You'd walk in a church, it would blow sky high.
My dad would say shit all the time that always struck me funny. And, he was an airline captain, but he was a total farmer. I mean, he dressed the part, and we farmed the cattle in a big farm and all that stuff. And he hung out with some rough guys, other farmers, hog farmers, cattle farmers, just crop farmers, just greasy. And every time before he would leave, a group of those guys, if he'd up getting parts or something, or they'd just get the feed store, whatever that he would do, he'd go, I'll see you guys in church, And they would just roll every time he said that. I'll see you guys in church next week.
Oh. I know. The drive-through graduations, I've got a couple of my girlfriends back in Virginia Beach that are doing the same thing with their daughters. It's some kind of drive-through. I don't get it, but at least they're doing something to sort of acknowledge it. I know that's not their standard thing, but at least they're doing something. It was sounding for a long time like just graduation is canceled. That is it. There's not going to be a graduation, so at least they'll have something to remember in 2020. This is the way that high school graduated, so.
Be fine.
Yeah.
I remember my high school graduation.
In Yokosuka, Japan?
Yeah.
High school dropout here.
Gave me that GED. Boy, I was the proudest day of my life.
My daughter gets it on us. My daughter was in beauty school, and she decided that after she went through the whole thing that wasn't for her, so we always tell her she's a beauty school dropout. Daddy's high school dropout, Fallon's a beauty school dropout.
Here come all my wood ducks. They start in the middle of that field, and they just walk. They land out there, and then they just walk. They're really timid. And there's 10, 12 of them out there getting some of the sorghum for the other ducks. So, we'll see. They're doing good. Greg we've been locked down. We haven't seen Mad Dog. We haven't seen Greg. Nobody's coming over here. We're locked down. I mean tight. Real tight.
But Greg's doing fine.
Greg's
Greg's a farmer, and this is their very, very busy time of the year. I mean, they are going to work early and working late. He called yesterday. He's basically going home, taking a shower, and going to bed. So, not seen much of him.
And that's where my daughter was. That's why we got him for a week. My daughter was going nuts at the lockup with that little girl and him. And he's real jealous. He needs a lot of attention. So that was tough in that house, being locked down with them. And him just nutty.
Our boat, Pat, is right out here, and we had it wrapped for the winter to winterize it, and it is good to go and ready to put in the water. I wanted to put it in the water before my daughter came this time, but it's just been shitty and cold, and now we've got this tropical storm going through, so thank God that we did not put it in there, but the boat's good. It's in the yard and ready to launch, and I actually think we might try just launching it right here out of the yard. Don made a nice little makeshift boat ramp. He put rocks and stuff down in there slanted. We think we can just launch it right here so that we're not having to pull it and come back. I hope that works out anyway. Somebody's talking about the schools are cleared to reopen in Tennessee and Virginia, here in the state of Maryland. All of my friends scattered all over the place. School is just over for the year. No, they're not opening up schools, and they're not even opening up colleges. So I don't know exactly where you are, but that would be great for kids to be able to finish up the school year, but they've just said no more school. And I actually think in some states that they are just giving them credit as if they completed the school year, which I think is fair. I mean, I think it's fair. It's not the children's fault. Just give it to them. You know, it's been a tough year on the kids.
Loosening up those restrictions quick, just which is fine. I won't torture them anymore. Those kids, especially graduate, and have to get out, you know, and go do their thing. This was not the plan. This thing to hold them back for a whole another year, taking classes. I mean, they already college is weird stuff. So I think it's a little premature, but I get it. Trump has certainly changed his tune about the whole thing because, you know, now all the pressures, okay, now what?
Well, that is just pressure, and I don't care if you're a Republican, a Democrat, what you are. That is a hell of a lot of pressure. Over here, you've got a bunch of Americans screaming, we've got to have our jobs back, we've got to go to work. And then you've got a bunch over here hollering, it's too damn early, you're going to kill us all, you've got to keep everybody locked up. So it'd be a hell of a position to be in. You know, what do? You make one decision's going to be wrong, no matter what.
I had the 33 years ago that Stark got hit. That's surprising. 33 years ago, I was there. And we were there for the Iran-Iraq war, and on the USS Guadalcanal, there's 2 SEAL platoons on that big helo carrier in the Gulf. And at some point, the Stark had got hit. I think it was before we got there or when we were there. I don't remember what it was, but the Iran-Iraq war was a brutal, bloody war between those 2 countries, and we were hit by an Iranian fighter, an Iraqi fighter, hit the USS Stark with an Exocet missile, or 2 of them, and killed a bunch of people. And it was just turning sundown. The sun was just setting, and somebody on watch saw something flash, and the ship went over there. It was an Iraqi pilot. He'd been shot down. He was in a life raft. He'd been in there for 3 days doing a fighter mission over Iran. He had used all his shark repellent, and I'll never forget. They called the whole ship unloaded on the side of that thing as this Guadalcanal pulled up to this little lifeboat, and we were right there. And he never stopped waving and screaming. He was in that boat. I mean, we're picking you up. We see you, dude. You're right there. He was so. And they brought him on board, and they marched him through the well deck. You know, a couple of the masters. I mean, we're not at war with these guys. Marched him through, and that nobody on that ship made a peep. Where you'd think you'd be like, wow, you survived, good for you. He kept drifting all the way into Iran off of I forget what that island is. He was going to get captured eventually, and nobody said anything because of the Stark. We just watched him walk through the well deck, and we dropped him off somewhere, and it seemed like the whole country of Iraq gave us desserts. They sent more shit to that ship for us to eat for saving that guy, and baklava and all that other stuff.
Ooh, baklava.
That was 33 years ago. Don't forget that. Okay, good. Yeah.
I'm done. I don't have anything.
Welcome to Chiefs must have stopped in the missile, didn't they? That's crazy. Yeah. There you go.
So somebody on here had asked about our moms. Dawn's mom is doing absolutely fine. My mom, not so good. They, health-wise, she's fine. But I think I told you before, it's not a huge place. This is not a huge place, but they are confined to one little hallway. They don't go to the cafeteria to eat. They don't go out to the fireplace. I think that twice in the past couple of months, they have taken her out on a pretty day to sit on the porch to get some sunshine. She shares a room with another lady that's on oxygen. So when you are not doing real well remembering and mentally to begin with, and then you are just locked down with no physical connection to family or friends or anything like that. It does not do anybody any good, and it's not doing my mother any good, and it's breaking my heart because there's not a damn thing I can do about it. I call her about every day, every other day. My sister calls every day, but I can't go see her. I can't go to Tennessee, but as soon as they allow people in that place, my ice will be in the Smoky Mountains with my mama. You can bet that.
He wants to know if that's a sweater.
Who wants to know if it's a sweater? No, it's a kimono. For lack of a better word, it's a kimono. What it is.
It's a cardigan.
It's not a cardigan. It's a kimono. It's thin.
Kitty. Oh, those cats. Oh. Trying to get him to stop chasing animals and throwing shit at me. I'd be like, hey, do you see that cat running away from you? It's because it doesn't like you. It doesn't want chased by you. You've already scared the cat. And he'd just keep going. And Coda loved him. Coda would get up in bed every morning and just lick him from head to toe, and he loved it, and just hold Coda's little face. And then an hour later, Coda's hauling ass getting away from him. You know, when things run away from you, it's because they don't want to be with you. So quit chasing them. Put that stick down. Well, if he threw another stick at that damn peacock, I damn near killed the peacock today.
Ah.
Right in the tractor disc.
I was watching the whole thing. Don was out there disking up around his new blind, and that peacock chases the tractor, chases a golf cart. And I'm aggravated with the peacock, but he is doing his job. His wife is sitting on eggs, and his job is to protect any threat around here. Well, we're all threats. Everything around here is a threat, but that damn peacock was on that disker when he decided to take off, and that peacock yelled. It sounded like somebody being killed, and he flew, but that peacock about got killed today, didn't he, in that thing?
Yeah, I'd stopped for something. I guess he got down in it. I heard him when I went forward. He took off. I think I was putting Xena on there.
Might have been. Radar, we absolutely will remember the Medal of Honor that passed away from cancer Thursday. He says up here that he leaves a wife and 2 sons behind, and that's terrible to go through what he went through, and then also have to battle cancer. So we absolutely, our prayers will go to his family. That's absolutely horrible. Ooh. No, I don't believe that this one's going to be a future frog man. But Don is in his old age, has become much kinder. Don likes to duck hunt, but Don's not big on killing deer. Don's not big on doing anything. But now he was hell on wheels as a boy. So Don pointed out to Remington. Remington was in the pool, and Don says, "Remington, look, there's a toad." Well, that little boy was like, "Ning, ning, ning, ning." And Don was like, "Oh my, no, you have to be nice to the toad." He would have been doing the same thing at his age, finding the biggest stick he could to clobber that toad with.
We did the fire academy in Virginia Beach. I did the paramedic thing, and then I thought, I'm going to get out and be a paramedic firefighter. So I went through the fire academy, and they brought in this female psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever the heck she was, and she was giving us a lecture on what they do to little boys, kids in Virginia Beach when you set a fire. If they catch you setting a fire in your backyard, the shit. Now this was, hell, I graduated paramedic school when O.J. Simpson was let off. That's how long ago that shit was. What they would do to you, all these profiles and this studies they would do and these weird things because you set a fire. And then she went on to say that Jeffrey Dahmer and Adolf Hitler set fires when they were kids. And I come out of that fucking seat. I couldn't take it anymore. It was really upsetting what they were going to put those boys through And I said, there's not one. It was an all male class except for her in there. And I said, there's not one guy in this class that has not set fires when he was a kid, and all of us have thrown a toad up in the air and hit it with a baseball bat. Man.
There's Greg Scott on there, guys.
Jeffrey Dahmer. So, yeah, I mean, you do that as little boys. And I just remember, Diane, a lot of people don't get the little boy mentality except little boys. I remember she was looking out the window where we used to live in Chesapeake, and there were these 3 little boys walking down the road in front of our house, and she was like, oh, look how cute they are. Look how cute those little boys are. And I was like, God, I'd pity the cat that came up on them and just wanted to pet, you know.
Well,
kitty.
That was the thing about Remington is my daughter had 2 dogs, had an English bulldog and a big ass mastiff, whatever kind of mastiff that thing was, an African mastiff or something huge. And her husband was gone all the time. And then she had the baby, and then they sold the house, and they had to move, and had to go through all thing. She could not handle the dogs, and I don't know that she'll ever have another one. So this little boy went from a house that is so clean you can eat off of the floor, trust me, to our house. Covered in dog and cat hair and stuff just everywhere. So he has had a ball with all these animals running everywhere.
He got spoiled up here plenty.
Yeah, Greg made it on here, bless his heart. I know. Trucker Dean wants to know if he's tired of that tractor seat. I'd say he's getting close to being tired of that tractor seat about right now. Although, if you had to be in a tractor, the one that Greg drives is like the Cadillac of tractors.
It's not even farming.
Shit, that's farming still.
He's on his email up there. It's all computerized.
He takes his dog to work.
Pretty soon they're going to have a robot up there driving that damn tractor. I don't know. Me, I'm still a hard kind of farmer here. I'm not into all the advanced stuff. That's what Greg is.
Well, and we can't afford the advanced stuff either. We're still doing a tractor that blows black smoke out the top when you start it. I'm going to get me a cup of coffee.
There you go.
Okay. Be right back. I'm going to get me a cup of coffee. You ain't my boss.
Is that her? Oh, that's a cat. Now everybody's fine here. Zena is coming along great. The blind is drying out. I'm going to start working with them, throwing just some dummies out. We'll see how bad this rain is supposed to get. I'm already going nutty just thinking about it here because I really don't need it. I got everything nice and dry. We could start everything getting planted. The sorghum goes in June, and now it's going to get wet again. They call it soaking. We're going to get a soaking. So that's not a thing that I really want to hear.
I do have a question I want to ask all my nurses on here. What vitamin deficiency do I have if I am constantly craving fruit? What vitamin do I need to buy? I mean, I'm not talking about just have a taste for fruit. I mean, like I wake up in the morning and I gotta have fruit. I gotta have grapefruit. Okay.
Do you think that?
What the hell's the matter with you? Do you think that every question I have is stupid?
I don't know
and that every question you have is so smart? I tell you right now, they better open this damn band pretty soon. I am sick of you. Everything I say, you look at me like I'm stupid. And you know what? It makes you look stupid.
Just say stupid again.
Stupid.
Stupid.
It does.
Okay.
I just was going to ask
Granny.
up here.
Well, I don't know that that's part of the curriculum in nursing school is fruit juice.
I don't want fruit juice. I want fruit.
Stuff.
Fruit.
Guys that got some vitamin deficiency. I don't know. It's probably vitamin C.
See, it's iron, D3, calcium, B6, and B12. Holy shit, hurting chickens. You're going to send me to the store. I'm going to be buying out the whole vitamin section.
She's all right.
I just thought there might be one little vitamin pill I could take to make this go away. Because, I mean, you'll have to admit, I'm eating a shit ton of grapefruit all day long. I eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
No, I don't mind it because it comes in those big things. She just scoops it all out, and then I just drink the juice out of it because I like it. That's why I like Bloody Marys.
Oh, that ain't why you like Bloody
'Cause
Marys.
it's just a pop, and it's something, coffee, Coke, but grapefruit juice will give you a zing. I like that stuff about 3 in the morning when I get up or something. Just take a quick slug of that, put the lid back on, and put it in there.
Oh, it's not pregnancy. Iron balls, if it's pregnancy, I will put that brand new gun Don's got in his mouth and pull the trigger. Not in my mouth, I'll put it in his mouth. Oh.
A meal in every glass, that's right. Beer has food value, but food has no beer value. It's just shit like that that you learn.
I just think why is grapefruit
It
dangerous?
is a meal.
Oh, God.
Got everything.
Be dead. But it's a habit with him and the Bloody Marys. He gets up in the morning, before he goes out to get on his tractors, he makes a Bloody Mary. But 9 out of 10 times, I'm dumping it in the sink. I'll find it sitting around somewhere. He doesn't even finish it. He just has to make one.
Just have a little. I don't ever remember having 2 of the damn things, but I just like a little bit. Yeah, I've never even finished them, but I like that pop in the morning. Something different tasting from bacon or eggs and shit like that. And grapefruit's got the same things. A little powerful, I guess. I don't know. And now we got the real problem.
I didn't know that grapefruit did all that to you. I know that I have taken different medications before, and my doctor would, for some reason, just say, "Is that boring you too?"
No, I'm just,
and that would
now
just, and they'd
everybody's,
say,
it's just all bad. The grapefruit is all bad now. And now you were fine, but when she's done here, she's going to be thinking about that shit all night long.
"I will, like I'm going to have a kidney meltdown."
Hey, Cody, buddy. Come on up here.
But my doctor would say, don't drink grapefruit juice with this, whatever that does. And I've heard that grapefruit juice will kill some medications you're taking, so you don't get it. But dear God, I hope it ain't messing with my kidneys. My liver's got its own set of problems.
There goes Fred and the chicken. They're fighting. Everybody's, it's turning ugly on here now. Okay. All right, buddy. Yeah, Coda smells really bad. Coda's had a problem.
He's got a gas problem.
Oh my! I took all 4 dogs today to get the last little bit of stain I needed for that thing, because it's going to rain. So I got it all stained, waterproof, Thompson's, whatever the hell it is.
Thompson's is no good.
God.
They say that's the worst.
That's what they had. Okay, it's fine. I used the other shit on the whole inside and out, and the roof got the Thompson, so it's going to be fine. Move rust on the bumper. Oh.
Most stains turn toxic if grapefruit's in the diet.
Statins.
Oh, you say stains. We were talking about staining the duck blind. He's confused.
I don't know if you all caught that. We were down at a little marina firehouse, and I used to do all the extreme seal stuff at, and I'd launch at and go fishing and all this stuff. And she's looking at this sign he's got up. These signs, looking at, she's puzzled, looking at it, and she goes, "Why aren't you allowed to have ice on the dock?" I said, "Diane, that says notice." Notice, not no ice.
I thought it
No
said
tiss.
no ice on the dock.
No ice on dock. Like, that's not, it's, you finish it.
I sat there for 15 minutes thinking, why won't you have any ice on the dock? No ice on dock. And he said, it says, notice, ice on dock.
Just noticed. And it was something about doing something on the dock. I don't know, she didn't finish the whole thing. No ice on dock. No test.
Oh. And I wasn't stoned or nothing. I was just my regular self.
No fish guts. Put that out. No fish guts in the dumpster. Everybody dumping their fish guts in there. Nice hot August day. No fish guts. Now we're on to peaches. Oh, no.
Did she have her mask and glasses on? Oh, God. Puff, puff, pass. No lazy bones. I swear to God, it's coffee. That's all of
Puff,
it.
pass. There you go. It's been interesting.
Oh, Lordy.
We're all.
I'm just
We're
punching.
tired.
I'm tired.
We are tired.
And it's hot in here because the freaking doors and windows is wide open.
Oh,
Whew.
she is just miserable.
I'm just
it's
as
too
hot as
cold.
I can
There's nothing. She is never ever comfortable.
Oh, but I'm happy. I'm always happy.
No, I'll say, come on.
I'm
come
just
on.
hot or I'm
It's a
cold.
beautiful sunset. Come on here and sit down. Oh, it's too cold. I'm in a tank top. Oh, it's too hot. It's too cold. Come on, let's go down. There's too many mosquitoes. Damn.
This has been one productive life. Sorry.
Well,
we should have just skipped tonight and got a good night's sleep and tried this tomorrow night.
We are really whooped from that boy from a week of trying to keep up with him. If she ran
Don't
out
bogart.
if she ran out of the house one more time screaming at me, "Where is he? Have you seen him?" And I can't hear shit. He just.
I've lost him a few times this week.
Well, he helped me out at the duck blind, and then he would just walk off. He'd just walk and just leave. So you had to.
Where is he?
Where is he?
Oh.
And just keep him in a life jacket all day long. But he just go do whatever he wanted to do. Find him in here doing something. No, they don't know. Pull and pull. Okay, here you go. No, we need we could use a good night's sleep, I think.
Yeah. Puff, puff, pass.
And I think
I just think that's so funny.
I think Zena's in there.
Zena is on her bed asleep.
No, you'll be in that wet spot again. Zena is it was a smart move. Zena's fully housebroken now. She hasn't had an accident here at all in weeks, but she will bark at me in bed to get up and let her out. And she'll go out. She'll come right back up, and she gets in bed. See, that was my thing about training a dog. I can't put a dog in a crate. I can't put a chain on one. I can't put it in there and let it hold its stuff. So you just take it out a lot, but that's turned into her bed.
That's
and
her
if you're
bed.
missing Zena, she's in her bed. She'll just go jump in there, and she loves it in there. Her and Coda both, and just nap in there. So that's the next thing I got to work on her about her getting out and sleeping with Warrior. But that'd be fun.
They think they know what.
Guys,
I know what causes the giggle. Just because I'm wearing a zigzag shirt don't mean I'm stoned. It's vintage, guys. It's just vintage. That's why I'm wearing it. Oh, God. So when we...
Diane, when was the last time you did that? At somebody's wedding, you got the goofies. And she couldn't stop. It was the most inappropriate time.
Was
for
it a
her.
funeral?
It was something. It was so inappropriate. She couldn't stop laughing. I'm trying to think of what that was. Everybody has done that before.
And everybody looking at me like, shut up.
God damn.
Oh, God.
Uh,
Shut up, Greg.
too much boost. Yeah. There you go. So
Oh, strawberry papers. I remember them.
now we are children.
So we, you remember there was no computers and you didn't download pictures or anything. You actually had to take them somewhere and get them developed. Well, my Aunt Betty worked at Rosie's. And Rosie's had a place that developed pictures. Well, Mom and Daddy had been out of town. And me and my sister had a party on the back patio. And we cleaned everything up real good so that they wouldn't see the beer cans. I mean, that house was spotless. And me and my sister thought, okay, we are good to go. Well, about a week later, my mama was a dental assistant. She went out to Rose's for lunch to sit at the counter, and Aunt Betty was out there, and she said, Margaret, do you want to, Debbie and Diane dropped some pictures off to be developed. Would you like to pick them up and take them home to them? And Mama said, well, sure I will. And Mama looked at them pictures, and about half of us had them strawberry papers stuck out our mouth. I could have killed my Aunt Betty. We were so damn busted.
That was our son has a little sleepover at the cabin.
A little sleepover.
Yeah. And so Diane goes back there in the morning. It's quiet in there. It's everybody's sound asleep. And there's a camera laying right there, a little camera. So she's little pictures. Wah, 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 right out of a porn movie. He had these two
twin
sisters that looked like Barbies.
They were pretty girls.
Prettiest two girls I'd ever seen in my life.
They really were pretty.
And they would lay into him, the two of them.
Hey, they might be on here.
Well, they were nice to me. And I'd go back there. He'd have those. That's why he'd have those lines. He was screwing his English teacher. He doesn't have any trouble getting a date on Saturday night.
Miss Sabbath.
No, they can't say that name on here. She might be on here, but I really was fond of her too, and that never broke my heart hearing any of that. You know, that's every guy's. And
well, anyway,
I'd go back there in the morning to go to work, and I would check on the water, whatever I would do. I'd go back there every morning, and it sounded like they were slaughtering lambs. Him and them two. And they moved away, and they would come home from Florida, travel just to get back at him. The three of them.
Well, he
broke the bed up there.
I had an antique brass bed, and it was bent. The footboard and headboard bent plumbing too. But he bought a condo up in Virginia Beach, and he had another seal that was a roommate, Temple. And I saw Temple one day, and he was all haggard looking, and I said, honey, what's wrong with you? And he said, I didn't get any sleep last night. And I said, what happened? And he said, the twins popped by. They popped in from Florida, and I guess kept him up all night long, bless his heart.
And a buddy of mine I'd hunt with, he was a big farmer down there. He pulls up in my driveway one night, and he's got DJ right by the back of the neck, and he is dragging him up on the porch. And his daughter was drop dead beautiful. Boy, she is that one beautiful woman. DJ snuck out one night, sneaks into her room through a window, and he hears something going on in there. He opens the door, and he's got a mouthful of her boobie. He's breastfeeding her right there. He grabbed that bastard and brought him up to me. I was like, oh,
you keep this boy at home, I swear down, if he comes down. And they lived in a trailer. He said, if I see him down there at the trailer one more time, I'm going to kill him.
You've got to
oh my God, Herding Chicken's got his English teacher pregnant.
Yeah.
That must have been awful.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. We got to get over here. I'm hot. I've got to turn the air conditioner on.
We are going to do a little YouTube after 30 minutes or something. We'll get on there at 7:30 tonight and see what's up there. I mean, why not? She's primed. We'll see what she's like.
I'll be passed out by then.
So, okay. Okay.
I've missed you all. Thank you for the patience. I just sort of had my hands full, and if you want to know the truth, I loved every minute of it. I don't get to do it very often, and I sure do like being a yah-yah. So that's been sort of my priority for the last few days, but I appreciate it. Bye.
See ya. Yeah. Okay, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for being here with us tonight as Diane goes through her. I don't know what she's doing on here tonight.
I just can't get over them pink rolling papers. All right.